Hello YouTube, and welcome back to another Obby Creator video. My name is Roro Studios, and today I'm joined by my sister.
Hello.
Today we're going to be showing you how you can detail your towers in Obby Creator. And by the way, this doesn't just apply to Obby Creator. If you're building a full 100 by 100 frame tower in Roblox Studio, then this also applies to that. This is my first time doing a video with my sister, or anyone else for that matter. So yeah, I have talked about her in the past. First of all, if you want to see what we're going to build in today's video for yourself, this is the Obby ID right here. And by the way, this is ring 2 of my JTOH ring in Obby Creator. I talked about what my plans for this were in the previous Obby Creator video. And in that, I showed what I had so far of this tower right here. The clock is going off, but I literally have no patience to wait for that. But we didn't put any detail in it, that way we could do that here.
So if you're gonna make a very highly detailed tower, you should, if you're building it in Obby Creator, then you should make sure that you have enough parts. If you're making it in Roblox Studio or something, it doesn't matter, but...
well, it does somewhat, because with JTOH, depending on whether it's steeple, tower, or citadel, there is, some limit of some sort, but you don't really have to worry about that too much.
Yeah, that's true. So you need to make sure you have enough parts, and that's the reason why in Ring 2, there's just 8 towers, not including the Soul Crushing and the Citadel, instead of Ring 1, which has 12. It's so that in Ring 2, there can be more detail.
So I recommend you build the tower first before adding in the detail. Although if you do come up with something that you think would make it look nice, then definitely put that on 1 or 2 parts so that you can remember it for later. Another thing you can keep in mind is to mix up shapes while you build it. So put some cylinders and spheres in it, which will make it more interesting to look at.
You should decide how you want to detail it. So for a short tower like this one that we're going to be doing, you should probably stick to just one sort of style throughout the whole tower. But if it's going to be really long, then you could do each floor having its own style and stuff.
Well, specifically in the Tower of Superception, how each floor was, how there were not only more floors, but also they were longer. Now we're going to share with you a bunch of different examples that you can detail. It's certainly not limited to these though. By the way, the tower... Oh, you fell in the lava. By the way, the tower that this is actually going to be... let me just get up there quickly. It's going to be the one that goes in this tower. The temporary name is Tower of You Climbed Up Here for Nothing, ha. And it's going to be low remorseless difficulty. So, by the way, I'm not going to show you everything that's in the tower until the end of the video, because I'm going to want to show you it with the detail, and there's no point in showing it twice. For this video, last night, I actually kind of took some notes on what I wanted to talk about, because usually these videos are so hard to record. I always end up restarting sentences like that. That one wasn't real, but I'm sure I'm about to do something like that in approximately 10 seconds. But anyway, yep, there. But anyway, here we had it listed that we had 7 different detail ideas listed. Again, it's certainly not limited to this. So there's 8 floors on these towers. So I guess one of them we're going to put on 2 floors. But anyway, the first one is neon everywhere, except not really everywhere, but basically what you can do is taking a part like this, or you can either do this by duplicating the part or putting in a new one. You can put a neon part below or on the side or on top of it, or multiple if you want. I would recommend putting it at 0.25 studs. That usually looks really good. And then of course actually making it neon. And you don't technically have to change it back to smooth on the surface here, but I do that. It doesn't make any visual difference. And also, if it's on a darker colored floor like this, probably make it brighter. You don't have to make it so bright that the neon glow starts to show, but that looks better than what it was before. If I wanted to make it even brighter, then I could do that. I think that brightness looks good. And then you kind of just repeat this throughout the entire tower. Oh, and then make sure there can't glide falls too. I mean, I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. Okay, so we quickly added in the detail off camera. I mean, it only took 20 seconds because there's hardly any parts on this floor. But this isn't you should only do this if you're doing the neon everywhere detail style. But putting neon inside of trusses definitely makes it look a lot better.
So a truss is 2 by 2 by 2, so you make a part.
That is if it's on the default size, but it's still 2 by 2 on the 2 ones, and then on the 2 axes and then on this one, yeah.
So you make a part that is that big, and then you move it inside the truss, and then you make your snap to grid be 0.5. So then you do the control thing, and then like you hold control, and then you resize it using the 3 axes.
If you're on mobile, then change your thing to 0.25 and then just do it on both sides, because this isn't the same for Roblox Studio, by the way, but in Obby Creator, when you control, it goes half of whatever your snap to grid is. Like this is, I actually scaled it in 0.25 on each side, whereas in Roblox Studio, if I were to do that, it would do 0.5 on every side. And also, I don't think we're going to put the neon on the bottom of this part right here, because that would look kind of weird. So now we're going to move on to the next detail style, which is just to add more parts, basically. A great example of this is Tower of High Adrenaline. You can see they just used more parts to add more shape and stuff to the tower. It's like what you could do right here on this conveyor. You can maybe like do something like this, a sort of staircase effect. Then maybe right there, we take like a wedge. There, you can see that that conveyor looks much more interesting. Right here, I added in another thing, like that's kind of supposed to be like bolts of the part into the frame, I guess. I don't know, something like that. And we'll also do something like that. So we're gonna quickly do that on all of the parts on this floor. Then we'll move on to the next one. Just finished putting in the detail here.
So you could also add custom textures to things. So for example, you could add a custom button icon, and maybe you could make one for push box buttons and one for player buttons.
These next 2 floors, there are a bunch of different push box buttons and player buttons. So yeah, we're definitely going to do that here.
You can also try mixing things up with a universal and inlet studs.
Like right here, this is universal. Regular studs is all of these ones, inlet is all of these ones, and then universal is like a mixture. And then a good example of where that's used is on Tower of Elysium. That's in Ring 4 of JTOH. Another example of something you could add a custom texture to, on Tower of Astronomically Aimless Annoyances, I saw that on the dance clips, they actually have this like dance icon to show you that it is a dance clip, which I thought was really cool. About what texture to use, I mean, you can just search it up on the Roblox Create page where it says like Discover and Avatar Shop and stuff. Go to where it says Create, and then go to where it says Library, and then go to Decals, or maybe it says Images, I forget, and then just search up something. Like maybe for a push box, put in Square. For a player, maybe search like Stickman or something. Or if you really want to, you can go and make a completely new texture of your own. So I put in a image of a square for that one, and then for the pushbox ones, and then I put like Roblox's avatar thing right there. That's all I could find. You not only need it to be what you actually want it to show, and it needs to have a transparent background so that it shows the like actual thing behind it, the button behind it. And another thing about this one is that just adding custom textures to like buttons, if you're gonna do that, don't do only that one. You can also put in the neon and stuff like that, meaning I should do that on this floor as well, but I'm too lazy. And also, yeah, this will be what goes for the next 2 floors. So this will be the one with 2 floors, because like it's the next 2 floors right there. The next thing we have is that you should extend platforms down. It's like right here, we could extend these wraparounds all the way down to the floor. The only problem is that it would interfere with different parts. It doesn't look like it, but there are like button activated parts. So probably do this one on earlier floors or on outside sections. So I'm gonna make a small adjustment to this. I'm going to actually take this out from the wall, and then we can just extend this all the way down. So yeah, usually this one you should keep in mind while building the tower like first without the detail, because trying to put it in now is pretty hard, as you can see, which is why that's all we're going to be doing on this floor. But it does take a lot of parts though, because as you can see, that one platform now takes up like 5 entire parts. But anyway, we can move into the next one here.
You can also add more kill bricks. This makes it seem more interesting, not only to look at, but also to like play. And if it's on a brighter colored floor, then also adds contrast, because the kill brick is a darker color.
Yeah, so like right here, especially since you don't even need to jump there technically, we'll put the kill bricks here. And yeah, we had kill bricks there already. We'll even put kill bricks on top of here. Although I won't put it right here, so that you can actually have a spot to heal at. And then what you actually do here is you go to hit this button, and then you do this part here. So on top of here, it's not actually used, although it actually is, because You can see there's some button activated platforms that we'll come back to in a minute. I still think if we added kill bricks, that would look great. There we go. And if we wanted to, we could even put kill bricks like inside here. You know what, let's do that, why not? There we go. So we added in this sort of stripe thing so you wouldn't take too much damage because it already is a bunch of kill bricks. And now we're onto the final floor, and with this spin part we've already added, that perfectly goes in with what I'm about to say, which is that you should add in more moving parts. Like kill bricks, that also makes the tower look more interesting, and it adds more gameplay. Right here, what you're supposed to do is just time that just like that. And since I put easing on that, we'll talk about easing a little more in a minute. I used easing to make it go like faster, so like you have to time, so it's pretty hard to time, which is good for this difficulty. That's another one of those things that you probably should do when you originally build the tower. But I suppose what I can do is clone this. I'll make it can collide false since it doesn't have any actual use in the gameplay. So it'll just be these little like spinning things over on the wall. And there, we're just gonna put these all over the place. You can change the spin times of different ones. And also make sure you turn some of them around. That way they spin in the other direction. I guess I could maybe change these to spinning fade parts. These are fade parts, by the way. But I'm too lazy. But that concludes all the different detail ideas. So now we're going to talk about a few small adjustments you can make to things that will just add that little bit of extra detail.
If you're making a kill brick teleporter like there is at the bottom of this tower, you could make it so that there are other parts like above it with with different transparencies to make it look like it's like fading.
They don't have to be kill bricks. They can just be regular parts with that texture. But of course, do make sure you do put in the actual teleport pad. Depending on how many parts you do, it will add a more smooth effect. I recommend you make it the biggest like jump between the amounts. The transparency here is 0.25. You can see we have 0, 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. Then technically there would be 1 above here, but 1 is invisible, so there's no point in putting that there. But you could also add like 10, and then it would go from 0 to 0.1 to 0.2 to 0.3 and so on. Of course, the more you add, the more parts that uses as well. So the next thing is to add easing to moving parts. Usually on spinning parts, it's best to leave it at no easing, like we have on these ones here. But right here, I did. If you're wondering which one I put sigmoid on there. But some of them, they just look weird on spin parts. But yeah, you can see how it starts going like pretty fast once it gets to around here, which is where you need to jump up to there. We don't actually have any moving parts in this tower, but I'll make a temporary one really quickly. So you can see if we have a moving part like this, the way it just bounces, it looks kind of weird. But the exponential one looks the best in my opinion. So the last thing I want to show you is I actually loaded up ring 1. There's the Obby ID for this one if you care. But it's to add like a picture on the outside of the frame so it looks really nice from a distance. So like I did for Tower of mostly outside sections, I put in this like robot face. I also put in these like robot arms with the laser guns, and then I put the fire ring above there. But you don't have to do those other two things. But yeah, you shouldn't do that on every single tower, but on some of them. Like I positioned it, I mean at the time, these were the only towers I had. I didn't have the ones back here. But like I wanted this to be a distance away from the other towers because it needed a bunch of room to put in obviously all the outside sections. So yeah, another example of that in a different tower would be Tower of Generation Failure in Ring 8 of JTOH. It has a similar thing to that where there's like the things coming out of the side, and then it says like TO right there and then GF for the acronym of the tower. Loading back into Ring 2, I will now show you the whole tower start to finish. So again, if you want to play it, this is the Obby ID here, and it's going to be this tower up here. I was thinking Tower of Detail Destruction would be a cool name. Okay, there's going to be a temporary teleporter there because I'm lazy to actually make it look correct. To get over to here, you want to come behind the difficulty chart, and then you want to go up through this part, through this destroyed floor 11 of the Ring 1 Citadel. And up here is the tower. So now you can do that. So now I'm going to show it to you. So if you fall to the bottom of floor 1, you'll just get sent back to here. So starting off, you have these pretty difficult wraparounds, but since it's the first jumps of the tower, and you have that safety net, it's fine, since that's a little higher than Low Remorseless. Then you do that long jump. How long is that? That's an 11 stud. And then you gotta jump through that. And then you're gonna come outside the frame through here. Ladder flick right here. Conveyor launch. You have the short shadow section. The first one is right here. The next one is a half stud right here. And then this one is a wedge right here. Then you actually need a corner clip in here. I'll probably put some sort of indication of that. Then you have a quick wall hop, and then you have this weighted companion cube will accompany you throughout the next 2 floors. The black button will reset this section. So that will reset all the buttons as well as the push box's location. So first you want to push it over to here and then up this ramp. Then you want to use the push box to get up here, and then you want to dance clip like that. Then you can hit this button. Yes, I'm clearing the featured obbies again because I disconnected. Probably gonna make an adjustment to this because it's really hard to like get behind the box without accidentally knocking it off. So then you want to push it across this bridge that appeared from the button you pressed from doing the dance clip. Up here, you want to jump here. That is not supposed to be appeared yet. Oh yeah, that's because I just teleported back up because I accidentally pushed it off, and so I accidentally hit the button that I wasn't supposed to hit. Well, you would jump to here. Just pretend that this ramp isn't here. This is a push box button you can see from the square on there. But now you want to corner clip through here, and you want to do this wrap around just like that, and then you can press this button. Then you can corner clip back inside. That will make this ramp appear right here. So then you want to push the box up this. Pushing it up backwards is usually a good strategy for this so that you don't go into climbing animation a whole bunch. Yeah, but then you want to push this button. Again, pretend this green one isn't there. That'll spawn in this truss right here. Then you can come across here and you'll press the green button. But that will make this green platform appear. And then you want to push it up and press this purple button. Then the thing will slide back down, but then you may just continue. By the way, that is a reference to the game Portal. So now you do these quick wraparounds, then a truss walk. Then you jump across that and go on top of the wraparounds and up here. A quick thing about tight ropes. You don't have to put this curve thing. It's super hard to do in Obby Creator. If you're using Roblox Studio, there is like a plugin you can use that'll let you put in these ropes without having to put them in manually. Usually for these, I just put in a straight line, but she put the thing here, so yeah, I didn't do that. Anyway, now you come across here, press the button, you have 8 seconds to come outside and do the wraparound, then ladder flick up. Then on the spinning platform, you want to jump off at just the right time. You want to do a few more ladder flicks and hit this button, and then have 12 seconds. You have to do some wraparounds, and there's Z fighting there. I'm gonna have to fix that. But you want to come up here and then get to right here. Then once you're here, you want to wait for the timer to go out, and then you can bounce up here and go across this. So anyway, now you do a wraparound up to there. Go across these fading parts. Then you hit the wimp pad, and there's currently no win room. But there we go. That's going to do it for today's video. I hope you did enjoy. Let me know if you want to see more videos with my sister. And again, the Obby ID is right here if you want to play this. Let me know any video suggestions in the comments down below. We'll see you in the next video, and have a great day.
Bye.